All right, this probably will not work. So I make videos for young men. Do you guys have, I can't even tell if this shot is good or not. I'm just gonna hope it is and point it this way. Do you guys have advice?
The dogs. Everyone
and the dogs, yes.
Charismatic, join a rock and roll band.
Yeah?
That's what I say.
There you go. That's not a bad idea, dude. That's what I was doing in college and high school.
Instant charismatic, you get the girls that way.
Yep.
Worked for me.
Be yourself.
Yeah.
100%.
Just be you.
100%.
Don't do anything stupid, okay?
Right. Only rock and roll. Can't be stupid, but it can be rock and roll. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right.
If you clicked on this video, I guarantee that you felt the regret that I have from not approaching the girl and kicking yourself that night because of it. From not talking to the guys that you actually wanted to talk to that seemed cool as fuck, right? On the first day of class, on the first day of your new job that you wanted to connect with, but you didn't. And now the people around you think that you're this shy, awkward beta guy. So how did I go from this to one of the top performers in door-to-door sales where it was my literal job to make strangers like me? If you don't already know me, my name is Luke, and by the end of this video, you're going to not only know the thing that's been blocking your charisma, but the 3 keys to talk to anyone, anytime, anywhere. But first, let me take you to a second location. Come back to my simple abode. Come back to my lovely bedroom. Let me take you. Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad, boys. So before we start talking about what you can do, let's look at why you aren't already living the charismatic lifestyle that you dream of now. First of all, every time that you come across a problem where the answer is right in front of you, such as this one, right? How do I go talk to this guy? How do I go talk to this girl, right? You just go talk to her. The answer is simple, right? So it's not the answer that's holding you back. The thing that's actually holding you back is fear. You're afraid of their judgment specifically. You aren't afraid of failing, right? If you could fail and no one would know. If you could flub up your words and no one would know, like you just flub up your words in your room, right? You wouldn't care. The fact is, whenever other people see you fail, you are thinking, how are they judging me right now? Right now, their opinion of yourself is more important than your own opinion of yourself. And I was stuck in this trap for years, bro. And the thing that got me out is reframing my fear of judgment to a fear of regret. So let's get out of the realm of emotion really quick and get into the realm of reality. So in reality, say you flub up your words, worst case. Maybe they notice, maybe they think you're weird, maybe, but you don't know that. Maybe they don't even recognize it. Maybe it's not even in their mind. But what you do know for a fact is that you are going to die, bro. You and every single person that you know and love is going to be dead and dust in 100 years. The only thing that you really have is your time and what you do with it. And the only thing that was able to snap me out of this fear of judgment of people is thinking, holy shit, none of it matters, for one. We were all ants on a spinning globe going thousands and thousands of miles an hour. But two, what I should be much more afraid of is regret. Is the fact of waking up when I'm 40, 50, 60, 80 years old and realizing, man, I haven't lived my life at all. And now my youth is gone. What if that girl you wanted to talk to was the girl of your dreams? What if you could have had an amazing friendship with this guy if you had just said something to him? You'll never know. You have to recognize this fear of judgment is going to come up every single time that you start to talk to strangers. But you have to act despite it anyway, because every time that you do, you build the muscle of courage. And that is what you need to talk to anyone, anytime, anywhere. The second fear that I see coming up in people is the fear of looking quote unquote different. Of people seeing you change, people seeing you try and be someone different. But the fact is, bro, you are trying to be different. You are trying to change how social you are. You are trying to change your charismatic lifestyle. And that's not a bad thing. Why do you think it's a bad thing for people to change? Do you think that once you hit 16 or 18 or 24, whatever age, you're just set? You are stuck there and you never change again? No, bro, that would be a sad ass life. You are supposed to change. And the fact that you think it's just not you or that other people are going to think you're weird because you're acting different is fucking cope. Let's be real. Carl Jung did a lot of research into the unconscious, and I'm going to explain this in a way that makes the most sense rather than using huge psychological terms. So there's this little gremlin version of you in the back of your brain, in your unconscious mind. This version of you is the worst, most evil version of you, right? Beating off 5 times a day, doesn't want to go talk to anyone, just a fucking fiend for dopamine and social media. This version of you is the old version of you, the worst version of you. And it is an actual thing inside of your mind. And the more that you start to act dissimilar to him, not like him, the more that he is going to kick and scream. There's this old version of you and this new version of you that you are becoming. But because this gremlin version of you is a real thing, it has this instinct to survive. The only way that it can survive is to kick and scream and tell you any possible lie that it can to keep you from changing. Because of course, bro, if you were locked in a cage with a wolf and it was up to you to survive, you would kick and scream, bro. You'd beat the shit out of that wolf if you could. You can't blame this old version of yourself for trying to stay alive. It's just animal instinct. But you have to recognize every time that it is telling you lies. It's going to rationalize to you. Every time you want to go up and talk to this stranger, every time you want to go talk to this girl, you want to be this confident person. Every single time it's going to tell you, oh, they're going to think you're weird. Oh, they're going to think that you're so different. When in reality, it's just this little gremlin version of yourself telling you shit that it knows is going to work. It knows you better than anyone else because it is you. So it tells you the exact lies, the exact things that you need to hear to not go change the person that you are. But you have to kill this old version of yourself, bro. You have to, if you want to become this new, charismatic you. It's going to push the spotlight effect on you so hard, which is where you think that everyone's watching you. You think that everyone is noticing every action, every change that you make, every stutter. When the reality is, no one is, bro. They're all worried about themselves whenever they tripped on their words. Are they acting quote unquote cool enough? Are they impressing their boss or the manager? No one's really thinking about you. No one gives a fuck. And here's a fucking slap for you, bro. You are social now. You are right now because you have this desire to be. If you didn't, you would not have clicked on this video in the first place. You are a social ass motherfucker. You are charismatic. Simply because you have the desire to be so. The only thing that is lacking right now is the action. Your actions simply haven't caught up to your new personality, to your new self. And the only way to start taking action to become your new self is to break every limiting belief, every rationalization that you have. People tell me, I've never been social before. I'm just not the kind of person. I'm too introverted. You are literally wired for it from evolution, bro. It's the reason that we as human beings have dominated the fucking globe. It's because we are incredible at working together. You are incredible at reading facial expressions, at understanding what other people are feeling, at relating to other people. You've just blocked this side of yourself off until now. You might be thinking, I just don't get along with most people. There's no one cool around me. Bro, charisma is a skill. Every time that you level up the skill, every time that you get better and better, you're able to connect with more people. It's not that you're stuck the way that you have been, it's just that you haven't taken the right actions to level up yet. Another one that I hear all the time is, I'm just different. It wouldn't work for me because I'm short. I'm too pale to attract girls. I have daddy issues, so I'm just different. Your advice wouldn't work for me. Bro, do you think that evolution just skipped you? Are you egotistical enough to think evolution just skipped you and you're not someone who can connect with people? Every single person has this inner capability to connect with the people around them. The only thing is, your personality is locked. We're going to go through the exact steps to unlock your personality, find your real charisma, and be able to talk to anyone, anywhere, at any time. Because you are not different, bro. Look at how many views this video has, probably a few hundred, maybe 1,000. That's a few hundred people who have found this specific video on this specific channel at this specific date. How many people do you think are dealing with this worldwide? You are not alone, bro. So now let's get to the 3 actionable keys that can allow you to become the kind of guy who can talk to anyone. So the first thing, you have to recognize that your psychology is going to come for you with a knife every time that you first try and do this, right? You're going to have the fear, you're going to have the doubts. The limiting beliefs are going to come up. The way that I was able to overcome this when I was first starting on my charismatic journey was by just defining my specific burning why and remembering it every single time that I had those fears. So think about this, bro. In 10 years, say you have the exact same habits that you do right now. 10 years from now, what is your life going to look like? You're probably going to still have a mediocre friend group. Probably still going to have mediocre social life. You probably won't be with the kind of girls that you want to be with. It's going to feel like you've wasted your youth, almost. Damn, bro. Think about how sad that would be. If you really looked back at your life and you're like in your late 20s, 30s, and you're like, damn, I wasted my life. But on the other side, 10 years from now, if you were to just solve this charismatic problem, right? You just became this charismatic guy. Say it took you like 6 months. If you just became this 100% charismatic version of yourself, what would your life look like 10 years down the line? You'd have so many stories from these amazing friend groups, from these random encounters with strangers. You'd have an amazing dating history. Maybe not always the most stable, but one that was up and down that you have so many stories from. You never feel like you wasted a second of your youth. Whatever part of those stories that I just told you, where you were imagining yourself in them, whatever part stood out the most, that is your burning why. Maybe it's the fact that you want to have a dating life that's incredible. Maybe it's the fact that you want to have stories with a bunch of your boys. You want to have the closest friendships ever. Maybe it's the fact that you don't want to feel like you wasted a second of your life. Whatever it is for you that stood out the most, that is going to be your burning why. And every single time that you see someone that you want to approach, that you want to just talk to, remember your burning why, bro. This is the reason why you're not going to waste your youth. This is the reason why you're not going to end up as this version of you who is sad and alone. Or even just mediocre, bro. Because honestly, that might be worse. The second key to talking to anyone is interest. If you've heard the idea, the phrase that to be interesting, you have to be interested. Absolute bullshit. You have to be both, bro. I might be the first person to tell you this, but just being interested doesn't make you an interesting person. Yes, it is super helpful, and it is the first step to just be interested in the other person. Ask about them. Genuinely be interested in the things that they're talking about, right? It's an easy way to be charismatic, but for you to create long-term relationships and for you to actually start talking to everyone around you and come off as charismatic, not just to talk to people, but to make great impressions, you have to be an interesting person yourself too, meaning you have to ask the right questions. You have to have shit going on in your life. You have to be someone who's has unique thoughts. Do this basically by living your own life, right? Having hobbies outside of work, reading books, doing things that aren't just playing video games. And specifically with being interested, ask about things with emotional relevance to people. Ask about people's personality. Ask about the most exciting thing in their life right now. What's a passion project that you're working on? What is the best thing in the world? These kinds of questions get people revved up and excited just to talk to you because they talk about things that they are passionate about and emotionally invested in. The third key to talking to anyone, and the most actionable, is context. This is how you actually start a conversation, right? So if you are in situations where you don't need context, this is where things are expected to be social. This is bars, nightclubs, parties, events, gatherings, right? People are expected to be talked to. You don't have to have anything to say particularly. You can just say, oh, hey, I'm Luke, what's your name? It doesn't matter. But in other situations, like if you're just in a grocery store or if you're just walking past someone on the street, give context as to why you're starting the conversation. It makes the conversation make sense, it puts things into perspective, and it makes you seem socially fucking capable. Do this by literally saying the exact reason why you're talking to them. And it can be anything, bro. It can be, hey, you look cool. What's your name? That's context. If you're in the gym, dude, that was a sick set, bro. I could tell that you're really working hard. Context is anything that you notice about yourself, the environment, or the other person that allows you to start the conversation. And it can literally be as simple as, hey, I'm trying to be more friendly. My name's Luke. What's your name? Who doesn't respect that, bro? And there's no exact line or trickety trick that's going to work to make everyone fall in love with you and everyone have this perfect conversation with you. But the fact is, the more experiences you expose yourself to, the faster you're going to get comfortable and used to each and every single one of them, because there are patterns in social life. And you start to recognize them, and you start to become socially smooth with anyone, anytime, anywhere. If you want one of my favorite lines that I use with girls, you can chop and screw this how you want depending on the situation. But a really good thing to say is, I'm off to meet a friend right now, so I can't stay. But I thought you were cute, and I would be kicking myself all day if I didn't get your number. And then you just hand her your phone with an open contact screen. You don't even ask. You just hand it to her. This shows not only do you have friends, and you're a busy guy, you have things going on, but also it gives you an excuse to leave if she says no or yes, right? Ideally, don't go up to a girl with a particular line in mind, but if you need one to start you off, if you need to just get out there and have something in your mind to say, use that. It's pretty foolproof. The final thing that I want you to take away from this video, if you remember nothing else, is stop letting fear decide your fucking social life, bro. Grab yourself by the balls and go talk to people. Start talking to anyone, anytime, anywhere, and you're going to fail. It's not always going to be smooth, but the more that you do this, the more that you're going to start to succeed, the more that you're going to start to recognize the patterns in speech, the patterns in how people interact, and eventually you're going to become charming as fuck. So become like every charismatic great who has been in your shoes before, and act now and become unstoppable.